Hello, welcome back for the final installment of this overview. We are looking at Romans. We have previously looked at an introduction to the letter that Paul wrote to the church in Rome and chapters 1 through to 11. Paul's talked about how Jews and Gentiles are now together in God's new family with Jesus as our King. And he's noted that this is exactly what the Torah has been banging on about all along. What's happened is the fulfillment of what God has said he would always do. And so today it's a bit of a shorter one, but we're going to look at chapters 12 to 16 and specifically how the gospel, because it applies both to Jews and Gentiles, unifies the church. And there's never been a more important time for us to hear this message because the church and the world at large needs to hear a message of unification. So in this section, Paul says that unity comes when we love each other and forgive each other. Paul says that love is expressed when people with differences, different talents and different gifts, serve one another. And Paul also acknowledges that as different ethnic groups come together, there will inevitably be some conflict. But he commends us in those times to practice humility, forgiveness, and reconciliation. Only when we do this, Paul says, will we truly love our neighbours, all of them. Paul then moves on to tackling specific issues that were then creating conflicts within the church, which stem from multi-ethnicity, namely laws relating to certain eating habits, observing the Sabbath, that sort of stuff. And Paul's response is to point out that there will always be important cultural differences within the church. There'll always be those. But that these differences are just not as important as the primary laws that God expects everyone to keep, namely to love God and to love each other. In effect, Paul extols us to disagree really well. And the letter finishes with Paul commending Phoebe. Phoebe's not one of the character from Friends, it's a different Phoebe. She is to be given the honour of reading out this letter to the people at Rome. And then he says hi to a whole load of people who he's not seen for a long time, and that's how Romans ends. Now, I don't know about you, but given our current social climate, I'm really excited about what we can learn from Romans in the coming weeks. Thanks for listening.
Hooray.
Boom. Okay, I'm just going to change my t-shirt and then we'll
Okay. You know those people with fairly difficult to pronounce names?
yeah.
You can pronounce them how you like.
Okay. You need to turn the page.
I thought you were going to repeat that.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you just repeat that last paragraph
Okay.
after a big pause? Can I press finish on this, Alex?